Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Turn the Hymm Up. I'm your boy LP82 along with my co-host
Young Tick, aka Wordplay.
And of course,
Cousin Dwaine, baby.
Yes, where we gather every podcast to talk about what's going on in the world. And of course, Cousin Dwaine always has the questions. He's the man to give the questions, and he's going to give them. I don't know what else to say.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't
I like
complain.
that hat, man.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it.
What's going on, man?
Oh, before we get started, can we make a quick announcement about the album?
Oh, yeah. Album coming out August 1st. It's called 2020 Vision. Representing it right now. Me and my boy Still Will. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to add on that, sir?
Yeah, so Still Will's this guy that,
Alter ego.
yeah, alter ego.
All right, so you know we got to get it going. Random off top. 2 random questions. First one. What is the oldest thing in your refrigerator right now?
The oldest thing?
Yep.
I don't go in that motherfucker enough. Like,
I ain't got no milk in there?
Mustard.
I know some dressing, some ranch, some type of condiment. I don't know.
What
Can't
is,
really tell.
you a ranch guy?
I'm a blue cheese ranch guy. Yeah,
I knew you was eating blue cheese.
I can do blue cheese. That shit fire.
Definitely like a blue cheese dude. All right, second one. If you can disinvent one thing, what would it be?
Homework. No, I'm playing. Like I'm still a kid and shit. Disinvent anything.
So which invention caused the most misery so far? Like just
I'd say fucking cell phones. Shit. Cell phones.
Why cell phones?
Because distraction. Like I can remember a time when phones didn't exist like that, and life was just so much better. Like I don't know. Just maybe I was a kid. Maybe that was the big important part of that. But nowadays, like I said, we always say it now. Kids don't know what it's like to be kids. Everybody knows everything. There's no reason to research nothing. Like people just like can't think of something. Just get their phone to just look it up. Like education used to mean that you worked hard for it. Now it's like it's at the tip of your finger. Like anybody can be smart nowadays. So that's all.
What'd you say?
I'll probably say video games.
What?
Wow.
It stops you from doing everything else you need to be doing. You so focused on a video game. So, I know a lot of people like it, whatever, but maybe because I don't like it.
Sorry for all you gamers out there. Did y'all hear Joe Rogan shared that same sentiment? He was like, pretty much video games is a huge waste of time.
It is. I believe it.
Hey, dude.
Think about it. Just think about it. You playing a video game, at least hours and hours of you doing nothing but playing a video game. And you get so focused and in tune with playing a video game, you forget to do other things outside of that. You might maybe things that's more important, but you so focused in on the video game. You know, I know it's fun for everybody, and they like to, do that as a hobby or whatever, but I do feel like it's a waste of time.
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
there's some people out there as millionaires from playing video games.
Yeah, it's rare though.
There's a lot of them.
You gotta be good though, right?
Yeah, but if you play enough, you gonna be good. Like, have you ever heard of the FaZe clan? Like, them dudes rent out mansions and just play games all day. I would love to do that.
Reality though, people ain't. It's a lot of people out there that's not getting paid and they playing a video game all day, every day. And they
the Madden tournaments.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Think you want to play 2K? Nigga, I got 100 on it right now.
Man, if you got that much money to waste, that's wild. I know for me, the one thing I would disinvent for sure is buffets. I think those buffets are the worst thing in America. We already fat as it is. Why would you put a whole spread of a plethora of items from different, that just don't make no sense.
You're not going to go for the salad.
You're not. Like, come on. You just making us fatter. That's crazy. Don't make no sense. All right, let's get down to it, man. Let's do what we do best. So, I like this one off top because a lot of people have this about themselves that they want to be respected. But sometimes that respect can come with a certain level of, disdain towards the other, towards the other side. So, Would y'all rather in this game, in this life, would y'all rather be respected or feared more?
I would rather be respected. I don't want nobody to fear me. Just respect. I give you respect. You give me respect. Off top. I just, to be feared, that sound more like a bully type thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to bully nobody or have somebody fear me, but there is a respect level where if I'm coming at you respectful, I expect the same thing.
But what about fear in maybe a good way? Like, it's maybe not a bully entity in it. It's more of just they're looking at you as like, man, this is a person that, boss like maybe like a boss or a supervisor. You're not afraid of them physically or anything like that. It's just more of a fear of you doing the right thing, making sure you moving the right way, making sure you're getting the job done the right way. Would that be something you would want to be looked at like from your kids or your peers, more feared in that way?
Definitely, if you have a role where you're a leader or somebody that's on a higher level than somebody else, and you have to perform on that level. I feel like there should be a little fear for it. You know what I mean? Like for people to know they have to respect you and things like that, but not to the point where you're abusing it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you just taking advantage of somebody because they fear you.
Right. LP, would you rather be feared or respected?
Once you think about it, like like certain people, you want them to fear you. Like, mother, don't try me. But other people, like you said, respect is a big thing. Is a big thing. Some people can fear you and not respect you at all. Some people could be like, they're plotting on your demise if they fear you. So I would say respect.
Okay. I mean, for both of you guys, have y'all had a situation where y'all knew y'all were feared by a person or maybe kids, it could be anybody, and y'all kind of felt like a little juiced about it, like, stay in your lane?
I would say that's what like I think that's more like what like my kids or with my son especially, because I know his mom would tell him to stop and he won't, but I'll tell him and he'll stop, and I look at his mom like, yeah, that's my son. He fear me. I think in that type of situation. So yeah, but not really. Not when you like. My biggest thing is like when you like conversing with adults and stuff like that, being around adults, like you don't want no grown ass man to fear you. Like shit. If anything, I'd rather him just know that me and that person do not get along. We don't see eye to eye and just don't talk to each other. If anything, I don't need you to fear me. Just don't talk to me.
You feel the same way? I mean, have you been in that situation before where you kind of like the idea of someone or your kids maybe fearing you in that moment?
I think at times, you can't get like that. Me, I'm the type of person, like I'm a cool dude, I'm straight up with you, but if you take advantage of me or whatever, I'm definitely gonna turn up on you. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter really who it is, If I get to the point where I had it up to here, I'm gonna definitely turn up, and I have done that in the past, to where I had to do that. And
can you give us a story, a short one?
It's so many. I mean, just situations where I'm respecting somebody and they're taking my kindness for weakness. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just turned up on them. Just
He's like a dangerous Care Bear. He took my kindness for weakness, and I turned up on him.
I'm a real Care Bear, man, until it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time to go, and I'll become a grizzly bear.
Oh man!
But I definitely don't like to get in that mode to where I have to do that. I try to stay at one level and try to keep cool. But sometimes it is cause to do that. You know what I'm saying? When at times. And I try to avoid it though.
Man, spoken like a true grizzly bear. What is the most disrespectful thing someone could say or do to you? And before we give our answers, please give the scenario of when this actually happened. I want factual stuff. You like, I'm not. It's never happened. I can't wait to hear this one.
I ain't gonna say it's like a thing. It's like multiple situations that that has happened, but it's not. I just don't like when people try to act like I don't know what's going on. Like, there's things I know that's going on. I choose to speak on it. I choose not to, but don't walk around like as if I don't pay attention. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I may have seen it until then I would avoid it because, like you said, I don't want to like Terrence was saying, cause any attention, whatever the case may be. But don't act like I didn't see that, or don't act like I don't know. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, can you give an example of what that would look like?
Like, just for just
because in my head, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm thinking like you had, some chicken nuggets on the table.
Nah,
somebody took 3 of them. And
I don't like chicken nuggets.
I don't know who ate them. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to get a clear.
Oh, okay. So just like with dealing with teenagers, like for instance, like we all been teenagers. We know how the game go.
Yes.
Like, don't play me stupid. I know. Like, I may not know the step-by-step scenario situation, but I know. I know every fucking thing. Whether you think, like I said, I may not know every scenario, but I know. Don't play me stupid. Like, I know. All just like that. Period. I know.
You don't give no passes. Even if you've done those things?
No, well, like we talked about that before. Like I said, kids gonna be kids, especially nowadays. There's so many influences out there, and I'm not trying to say like a kid's gonna get a pass just because they see somebody else doing it. But what I'm saying is like I know like certain things that kids say and how they act around certain people. I know. I understand. Like like for instance, when my daughters say they like a boy like them. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's all right. But don't for a second think that he's not trying his hardest to make you do something that you're not supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? I know. I know how all boys get down. Good, bad, what have you, whatever. I know. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, I would say. Everything else, it is what it is. Like, I get mad, get angry, turn up, whatever, turn down, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. But all the other shit don't matter.
So don't try to 45 fake them.
Period.
What about you? What is the most disrespectful thing that someone can say or do to you or have said or done to you?
I think the most disrespectful things, like disrespect my family. I don't really care what people saying about me. I could brush that off. But when you talk about my family and you really mean it, like you really talking about them, yeah, I really have a problem because I'm a real family person. I'm loyal. I'm even loyal to my real true friends too. So, I take that serious. So, if somebody's really bashing out, if it's playing around, that's different. But if you really going in on somebody I really care about, on a serious level, yeah, I can't tolerate that. On no level.
Have you had an instance where you were disrespected and that did occur, and what was your response in that moment?
I never really been disrespected on that level because I usually treat people with respect. So I never really had anybody like really come across that disrespectful. I might have to put somebody in their place a few times, but not to the extent where I gotta like do something to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's unpack a little bit more. So we're talking about being feared, respected. We're talking about disrespect. Now, have y'all experienced any racism?
Yeah, I think more subtle racism, not so much as in your face though. Like, I never been called like. Well, I remember this one time when I was a kid. This lady did call me and my brother. Mom pretty much was playing with her son. I guess we was roughhousing a little too much, and she told him to come in the house. and she called us niggas or some shit like that. And I remember we went and told our mom. My mom punched her in her face.
Your mom punched
Hell
her
yeah,
square in the face?
Hell yeah, she punched her in her house.
Good for you.
But other than that, nah, I never ever experienced like, you know, say like a straight, oh, you fucking boo, you know, like never like that. More subtle, like,
And
you know, the grab of the purse.
Right?
Huh?
You went to Rialto, right?
Yeah.
It's never happened?
Hell nah. But you got to think, when I went to Rialto, it was a little like, okay, yeah, they did have the race riots, but I remember a couple times, there was some of my homeboys that I was cool with that was, you know, Hispanic, and they were about to get done in, and I kind of like, you know, like the people that I was with at that time kind of like, hey, bro, like let them pass. That's the, you know, that's the homie, like shit like that.
For our viewers out there that don't know the term done in, what does that exactly mean?
About to get a foot in your ass.
What about you, Wordplay? Have you experienced any, you know, blatant racism or subtle racism?
Honestly, I've never experienced racism, you know, and I'm really glad I haven't, because I don't know what I'll do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I'm the type of person, I can't just let that ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm, you know, if you saying, you know, calling me out or saying anything disrespectful on that level to where it's really disrespectful like that, we got to get down.
Man,
I don't know how to back down.
Your method of, you're like a wrestler. You just, that's your first mode of action. Let's get it in.
I don't know how to back down. I honestly don't know how to back down, bro.
Yeah. That's crazy that you've never actually, like, had to experience racism. That's, man, because you're as black as they come. We're both pretty black. So I don't understand.
And, you know, I'm pretty sure it's been times where people feel like they want to say something or whatever. They might have said it under their breath, you know what I mean? But not directly to me. I've never experienced that.
How about discrimination?
Yeah.
I experienced discrimination.
Where was this? When was this?
All of my life.
It's been a few times where it's like discrimination in what way? Because I'm looking at it like, because like walking in the thing and they refusing to serve you.
That's discrimination.
Yeah, I've been in the situation.
Where was this at? Or you don't have to put the place out on blast, but
I was with my uncle one time. I was with my uncle. We was driving, and it was a place that refused to serve us. You know what I'm saying?
Like a fast food joint.
It was like a restaurant, and they refused, so we just went somewhere else.
Was there any pushback on your uncle's part?
No, we didn't, you know, press the issue like that. We just kept it moving.
LP?
Fuck it. Yeah. I can't think of a situation off the top of my head, but yes, I have experienced it. I'm trying to think. I can't think of one right off the top of the head, but of course, who hasn't just experienced that? You may not be as, you know, as drastic as, like you say, denying the service of, you know, denying people service and stuff like that, but there's little things, you know. Discrimination is a big part of life, especially for African Americans.
Facts.
It's a big part.
So let's go to the next portion here. What is, and I think we've talked about this off camera before, but I know for me, I have a hard time dealing with people that of other races that try to have an input on black issues.
Right.
Like, that's a huge pet peeve of mine, because I feel like you have to really experience what it is to be black or to be Latino or to be white, whatever, the Native American, Asian, before you can have like those valid opinions on how they operate within their own culture and their beliefs. So I ask you guys this: what is your pet peeve? What are the things that just drive you crazy? I know you kind of alluded to it earlier with, you know, people almost trying to play you like a fool, but you know what's going on.
Yeah.
But let's go to a different place with it. What would you say your pet peeve is in life, and just it could be anything, any area?
Well, my biggest pet peeve, like, I don't have a problem when, people are speaking Spanish amongst each other. That's fine. But before you walk in a room, you clearly hear them speaking English. But then when you walk in a room, it switched to Spanish.
Talk about it, brother.
like I have no problem with them speaking. That's whatever. But it's just one of those type of things. It's kind of like it makes you feel like. Or me, or it could be anything. They could be talking about somebody else or have you whatever. And I understand if y'all want to have y'all conversation amongst each other, and you guys are privileged to be able to speak another language that can kind of exclude other people. But at the end of the day, that's like one of my biggest pet peeves because like you say, you talk to the people, especially when you know them and they speak really good English amongst each other before, and then next there's just Spanish come out of nowhere. Like what? I'll tell them sometimes if I'm really cool. I'm like, oh, so what y'all talking about me? Like,
like. You know what? I respect you honestly being very transparent about that because I think a lot of black people feel pretty similar when it comes to that issue of I know I've dealt with that before where I'll go into space and they are speaking Spanish all of a sudden. You're like, and it's uncomfortable. Like I literally went to an elementary that was predominantly Latino, so I was in a classroom. I was the only black kid in the class, so that was often uncomfortable because you don't know if they are talking about you. But we love our Latinos. We love our Hispanics.
Yeah, of course, most definitely.
Slight. I'm sure we do some stuff y'all don't like either. What about you?
I would say constant complaining from people. Like I could understand complaining or something, but somebody that's always coming to me talking about their problems and all of that, I don't like that.
Like your kids.
It's like people. Everybody got problems. You know what I'm saying? But somebody that's always, it's like they never have a positive moment. It's always something negative they talking about, or they talking about somebody bad, and they never have anything good to say. That's one of my pet peeves. You know what I'm saying? Like. There is, I could see if you talk about negative things and then talk about positive also, and it's kind of a balance. But somebody that's always talking about negative every time you talk to them, and they always talking about something they don't like and all of that kind of drive me crazy though.
Man, what if it's like one of your like friends or family member, like somebody you really close? Like, how do you navigate through that? Like, do you just allow them to vent?
Turn nobody away, of course. It's just something I don't like to deal with, but I'm not gonna turn nobody away. I'm not gonna say stop talking about it or anything like that. Of course, I'm gonna give my best advice to them if I could help them out. Anybody, you know what I'm saying, whether it's family or somebody outside of family, if it's something that they having problems with or anything. But I don't like to, keep bashing people and talking about negative things all the time. I know it seems to happen, every now and then, but something that happens constantly like that, it drives me crazy though.
At what age did you catch on and say like that really pisses me off, like when people do that? Like when did you know that wasn't going to be, because that's easy for people to fall into.
Yeah, I know it's in people's DNA to be negative and I think that's the problem with people today is that we're so instilled with these negative thoughts and always sharing these negative opinions, you know what I'm saying? And it's nothing positive come from that. I think people need to be more positive, you know what I'm saying? And look at both sides, like me and LP was talking about it the other day. Like you talk about, if you talk about the bad, talk about the good also, you know what I'm saying? Don't just always be negative and always have something bad to say, all the time. There's good things too. And even with dealing with people, if you're talking about somebody bad all the time, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you talking bad about them to boost yourself up, or what is the issue? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like, just say if Johnny on the block, Johnny graduated from such and such, people don't want to hear that, but Johnny just got in a fight with somebody. People want to hear that, you know what I mean? And they just want to hear the negative, and that is just that has to change. I feel like.
Unfortunately, man, wise man once told me that we've been doing stuff so wrong for all our life that we now think we're doing it right. So it's not, we're not really, moving the way that we should be. So I definitely feel that, I share that same sentiment, man. I don't understand how we champion such negative stuff, but like positive things you see people doing like in the community, it's always got to be some type of backlash hidden in there. So, but that's what we've been programmed to do at this point. All the stuff that we thought was wrong, we've been doing it wrong for so long that it became right in a weird way.
The good thing is to do is acknowledge it. Acknowledge what you're doing. That way you can, reprogram your mind to think more positive and and things of that sort. So I think that's something we need to work on. But we could definitely change our, the way we think and and all of that. So.
All right, man. I've been seeing a lot lately on my feed, man, my news feed, just on posts on Instagram. A lot of my friends are doing random things on their bucket list, man. I never even thought about having a bucket list till I seen, I guess during this COVID-19, people are like really trying to live out they life, because life is fleeting. Like, you don't know what can happen. I seen a lot of people bungee jumping. I seen one of my colleagues skydiving. It's like crazy. Like, people taking risks out here. Like, I'm not gonna do that type of stuff. But I have started making a bucket list though for myself. One of the things that I want to do, even though it's probably not like a big deal, is I want to get a tattoo. Like, I've never got one before. I know it might be small to some of y'all out there, but that's a big deal for me, man. Inking my body, I'll see y'all both tatted.
Somewhat. I need more.
Something like that. But I got a couple other things that I want to do that's on there. So I've been building it up. But what about y'all? Do y'all have a bucket list, or have y'all ever even considered, building one?
Yeah, of course. I do have, I wouldn't say I have necessarily like a bucket list, but I do have things that I want to do. Like, of course, like I really want to really be good at surfing. Like, what the crazy thing is though? Like, it was Sunday. I had just got off of work, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's just go to Venice." Went to Venice Beach and shit like that, and I was just like, my son, he really, really loves water. Like, he loves water. Like, that would be dope for me and him to kind of learn that shit together, because he loves water. So, that might be one of my bucket list things. Shit. Travel the world, of course. See more, do more, learn more, educate myself on things, I never thought I would have, learned, stuff like that,
Do you think do you think that people should have a bucket list, like at least a couple things?
I think that, yeah, people should have a bucket list, because it makes life a little bit more enjoyable. You got something to look forward to,
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, what, how everything is going. I know as soon as things get back kicked into normal, a lot of these places that people normally visit is going to be packed, because they've been waiting, they've been saving. Like you were saying in the last podcast, Terrence, I brought up how people are saving their money now, so people are about to go ham. Like, I just seen this dude on Instagram. He got his son. His son is probably like a couple months old. Got him a passport. Wow. So people get ready for that time to say, hey, we could just go. So I think everybody should have a bucket list or goals and things that they want to do outside of their career. So yeah.
Facts. What about you? You got a bucket list, or are you considering making one?
I got a bucket list. Like, one of them is like LP said. I like to travel the world, and just meet different people, like celebrities and different things like that. That's one of the things I want to do. Another one is have like a large studio, like something like a warehouse or something, like something real big where, you can do all kinds of things in there, green screen, video editing, filming. It's places where, you can even, scenes for different videos, So that's another thing that I have on my bucket list, just trying to create an atmosphere to vibe to and to create.
Do you guys have any things that were on your makeshift bucket list, like an unofficial one that you guys were able to accomplish within the last like 5 years?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say more like Just as far as like learning about certain things and certain topics and certain situations that, like I said, I never. Because one thing about me, like even in my spare time, like I go to Barnes and Noble. Like I don't know, I don't know why I love that place, but like stuff like that, just learning and observe, different little things as far as like little skills, little craft things that I've learned. I've been painting.
I can definitely understand why you haven't experienced racism. It's definitely stir that.
Yeah, because I be in their areas. I be in their areas. You know what I'm saying? Yo, fuck that. I'm coming over there too.
Nah, hey, Barnes and Nobles is cool though.
I like Barnes and Nobles.
What you be reading there though?
I random ass shit, man. I be just going through stuff, man. Like I was reading You God's book for some reason. I was reading his book. Yeah, You God for Wu-Tang. Yeah. Nah, cause like my daughter. So when I pick her up, when I used to pick her up from school, when school was in session, I used to take her there all the time. She fucking hates that place. I'll be like, we about to go to my favorite place in the world. She's like, Barnes and Nobles. So I'll be going there. I'll just read like I'll be reading like little self-help books here and there, like magazines. I just like going there and just like getting the coffee and a maybe a cookie, maybe a muffin or something like that, bro. Just chill. Like the vibe is just, it's like everybody's in their own little section learning about something. Nobody's worried about nobody else and shit. Like I don't know, it's cool. The vibe is cool.
That's what's up.
I definitely want to read more self motivation books and things like that. I think those are very helpful. I know I heard Nipsey was a big fan of
He's an avid reader.
Books like that. I'm kind of want to get more knowledgeable on that. Just something that just self motivation and things that make you better in life, better as a person.
That's a fact. All right, so you talking about these self-help books. We're talking about bettering our mind, sharpening our mind, our spirit. Do you guys think, beyond the books, do you guys think that wisdom comes with age or more so with experience?
I think both. But at sometimes it's people older than me that still haven't got it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like still, so age, I think more so with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? With just experiencing like life experiences. I think that's what would get you more knowledgeable on things. Also, you know what I'm saying? It's just being just going through it, learning from it, maybe looking at somebody else, seeing what they did wrong and try to apply it better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just life experiences, I think that I know for me that's what, educated me more was to look at other people, see how they handle the situation and actually going through certain situations maybe become better. You know what I mean?
What was a point in your life where you feel like you can look back to and say you gained the most wisdom, the most experience from that situation, where it made you, sharper mentally or it made you stronger spiritually?
Definitely a time where I was separated from my girl, and I was going through it. I was broke. You know what I'm saying? Going through it, and it was a rough time period in my life. Where I had.
Before you go all the way in there. When you say broke, because I want the viewers to understand what you mean by that. You're not talking about financially broke. You're talking about
both.
Spiritually broke.
He's both.
Broke and financially.
Okay, I just want to make sure that they know, because there's somebody out there right now that's probably going through that right now. So yeah. I want them to know.
I was spiritually broke and financially broke, and the situation I gained from that is it was a situation where I wasn't running to God at that time because I felt like, why? You know what I'm saying? At that time, like, you took this from me, and I was looking at it like that. But then as as time went by, I started getting into church, and I thought maybe that's what needs to happen, you know what I mean? And from doing that, that changed me as a man, made me better. I started realizing, my faults and because it was a lot of things that I was doing that I needed to work on. So, God made me understand, I have to change my ways, in order to, in order for things to happen better for you, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and see, okay, it's something about myself that need to be changed. So, you have to work on yourself sometime in order for things to get better, in life.
That's real. LP, do you think wisdom comes with age or experience?
I think that yeah, it can, but for the most part, I think wisdom is a gift because not everybody. There's people that have experience and all that comes with the bag of wisdom and still don't have it. Because the one thing about wisdom, you got to be able to relate. You got to be able to speak. You got to be able to educate somebody. Not everybody can do that. So I think wisdom is more of a gift than anything.
Where do you for you, what do you think you've learned most of your knowledge or wisdom from? Like, was it a certain person or was it just through life experiences?
Of course, there's certain things that people told me throughout my life that kind of stuck in my head. It kind of helped me guide myself through life. But for the most part, I think it's just more of just self-taught. Just saying fuck it, just go for it. Whatever the case may be, whatever the outcome is, you learn from that. My biggest problem was in my life is that I try to do everything too fast, whether it's outside of my sex life, but but not just like day to day stuff. Like sometimes I just gotta slow myself down. Like I think that's like the biggest thing I could tell somebody is to slow down. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know, but that far as my life and far as things, that's like wisdom that I can always give somebody else. Slow down.
And what was the best advice you can say that someone gave to you that always stuck with you?
There's a couple things. One for sure. My pops used to always tell me, ain't no such thing as a man can't find a job, he just doesn't want to work. So that always stuck with me. Like, I know there's people out there that's going through it. They can't find jobs and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, certain people are not looking in the right places, or they probably just want this particular kind of job, and they just can't get it. Or they, what I'm saying? It's always something that you can be doing to make money. Always. Mm-hmm. It may not be the best job at the time, but there's always going to be something. It's never just, oh, I'm fucked, I can't do nothing. Hell, there's people that got backgrounds up the ass, and what they do, fuck it, I'll just start cleaning people's garages and cutting their lawn and shit. Yeah. But I'm just, it's still work though, so there's no such thing as a man saying he can't find a job.
Yeah, that's real.
And I look at it like, things could be learning experiences. Like I even remember when you still do it to this day, is send me like, Bible quotes and stuff like that. That stuff help me out. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you down at a time in your life where it's hard for you, whatever. I could read that and it could make things a lot better for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just little things you say, like and even a time just the other day, LP, me and cousin Dwaine, we was texting over the phone, and we was talking about the logos, the T-shirts, and all of that. And then he asked me, "Did you look up the tutorial?" And I was like, nah, they taking too long to show me. I'm trying to get straight to the point. And then he put, patience. What you put, patience is virtue or something. Yeah. And just that little line right there made me realize, I really need to have more patience. You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain things that people throw out there that could stick, and make things a lot better for you.
Well, we do all need more patience in general. But I do know something that I've always stuck with, which is someone told me that your fear will keep you miles from your destination. So you got to have that faith over fear no matter what. So when we think about things that we're fearful of, I've always been curious to know, what are y'all biggest fears? Because you guys are not only black men, you guys are parents, you guys are significant others, you guys are members in the community. What is y'all biggest fear in this life?
To me, I would just say failure to my kids. Just not being there for my kids. I think that's my biggest fear. Is not being that father that they really need in their life, and going off doing some crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or not really being in their life like that, that's I don't want to be in that position, you know what I'm saying? I want to be there for my kids, and even for my family in general, just being there and knowing they got me and they can call on me anytime, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a situation where they can't call on me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Not getting too personal, but we know. I mean, I know you personally, so I know that feeling comes from a place of you feeling that. Like you don't want that your kids to go through that. Can you say that has anything to do with maybe your upbringing or things that you wanted or didn't have and stuff like that? Like, where does that come from for you wanting that being your fear?
Uh, yeah, I think that has to do with it. I think that I feel like kids today, especially in growing up in this generation today, it's important that they have their mother and their father there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that I was attached to, a lot of people that I grew up that didn't have that didn't have their father or mother in their life, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like that's very valuable, to have that, and you could be in their life, you could have a mother and father that's in your life and they still not, playing the parent role, but for a mother and father to actually play up the parent role and really try to teach their kids, you know, to steer away from all the other, stuff that they could be falling into, I think that's important.
Man, that's deep. LP, what is your biggest fear?
I have none.
Mm. How do I know you gonna go somewhere?
Nah, of course, we all have fears, especially as being parents or significant others and stuff like that. I don't have one particular fear, but I do have fear just in general. There's a lot of things. But for myself, I would say my biggest fear just not really like I said. I talked about this before. Me and you talked about it offline. Is potential. That's that word. Like I hate. It's like a gift and a curse. So my biggest fear is to just keep hearing or keep relying on potential. That word is crazy. Like it gives you hope, but then again, that shit can kick you in your ass because then sometimes you end up settling for that. So, and I would say that for my kids too. Like I don't want them to ever feel like the potential is just good enough. Like nah, do more. Like I would,
Yeah.
like I said, I would hate for them to tell me that's one of my biggest fears for them to tell me that they don't like the person that they became, like or they become, whatever. Like that shit will blow me because I don't care if it's collecting cans and painting them and making art out of them. I don't care what it is. But if you're happy, like, is that like, if I could stop and ask you, are you happy with your life? Yeah. I can't knock you for that because there's a lot of people that got a lot of money, do all kinds of crazy shit and hate their life. Be happy who you are. If you can be happy who you are, wake up every day like that, then shit, I did my job.
Yeah,
Whatever that is.
I think you definitely have to be grateful for the things you have, especially if you want more in life, you got to be grateful for what you have, It doesn't matter what it is, like it's a lot of people I think people have to realize that there's always somebody doing worse than you, you know what I'm saying? So
Fact.
it's better to, look at your situation, even if it's not a situation you really want to be in at the time, look at it to be grateful and to know that, still strive for more, but be grateful for what you have and understand, and look at the positive side of it, because it's always it's people homeless living in, shelters and things like that. It's always somebody doing worse, you know what I'm saying? So it's always good to be grateful but strive for more and to, do whatever you can to, push yourself a little harder, you know what I'm saying? But be comfortable inside your own skin, be comfortable with your situation that you're in at the moment.
Yeah. That's real talk, man. That's both great points, man. which segues into what the next question is. When you're talking about being grateful, I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how his biggest regret now that he's a grown man is that he wasn't grateful for the things that his parents did or his friends did, just his friends being there for him. Like those things really bother him now. We try to talk through it so he can get out of that funk, but for a lot of people, they have their regrets can hold them back, can weigh them down for a lifetime. Are there any things that you guys, regret in your life now that you haven't addressed, or maybe you have addressed, or you want to address?
No, I don't regret nothing. I used to think like that, but then again, a lot of things that if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have learned, or I wouldn't have seen, or I wouldn't, experience. So certain situations are gonna lead you in certain paths. So I can't really say like, oh, I regret it. I wish I would. I wouldn't call it regret. I would say I wish if the outcome was still the same. The outcome was still the same. I'm cool with it. But if I would have did it a little different. But other than that, I don't regret it though. It is what it is. Like no, nothing lost. It is what it is.
Has anybody ever actually came to you and said that they regretted something they may have done that impacted you or anybody around you?
Like, like even conversations with my mom, like just certain things that she did in her past, she would tell me like, I wish I would have did it different, or I regret, this and that. Mm-hmm. But, like I tell her all the time, Mom, like shit, life is life. We make those choices. That's why you only get one chance. Yeah. One chance at it. This ain't no redo. This is life. And even if you try to go back and redo it, it's still that time lost. So it is what it is. Just keep striving to be better.
How did you feel when she told you that, when she opened up to?
Well, to me, to be honest with you, like it didn't make me feel no kind of way. Like I feel bad for her for feeling like that, but I'm like I can't judge her for that. Making choices when you was young and shit like that. Like that's what happens. I made some dumb choices when I was young. Like it is what it is. It made me who I am. Like I'm not saying I'm the best person in the world, but I've seen and experienced some things that I wouldn't change for the world. Like I'm happy that I enjoyed that or experienced that or went through that the heartache, stuff like that, because it taught me a lot about myself.
Real. What about you? What is your biggest regret?
I don't have any regrets. I think. Pain or whatever you go through in life, it molds you to become who you are, and it's a learning experience. So, the things that I messed up on in the past or whatever, it molded me to do better. I learned from it, like anything that I messed up on, you just learn to not do it the next time, you know what I'm saying? So, I think experiences in life, like we was talking about earlier, that molds you to become the person you are, you know what I'm saying? Just dealing with a lot, and realizing that, pain is temporary. You might be going through a certain situation at the moment, but, it's going to get better. It doesn't matter who you are in this life, you know what I'm saying? You have to realize that there is a God and he's going, he's going to work, and it doesn't matter what situation you in. If you're in a situation you really don't want to be in, you got to realize that it's temporary. You're going to get out of that situation. You just have to believe, and it molds you to learn, from different experiences that you've been through in your past, and yeah, that's what I was saying.
Very sage advice from two intelligent men over here. Now I'm gonna throw a curveball in here, man. I've been watching a little baseball lately, so I gotta throw that in there. Kershaw, man. Shout out to the Dodgers opening day. I'm a Yankee fan myself, but I'm sure you guys are Dodger fans, so I gotta show y'all some love.
I ain't shit. Like fuck baseball.
Don't you have a baseball?
Nah, it's a basketball hat. It's Rockets. Nah, I'm fucking around. Baseball cool, I guess.
He's lying. He does not like baseball. All right, so we got some things coming up. We got the election in November, so we know a lot of things may shift depending on who wins. And
I'm voting for Kanye.
Vote for Kanye. But we also know with new administration, there may be new laws. There may be new things that will be passed that we may or may not like. So make sure y'all look up who y'all voting for and what they stand for and all of that stuff. If there was one law that you can pass right now with this COVID-19 crisis, all these things that's impacting us, what would it be? And why would you pick that law? Like, what would be your rationale for picking that law?
That is a curveball like a motherfucker, because I can't
sure
really think of it. Like, real talk.
You have to pass the law.
There's so many things that so many places we can take this.
Yeah.
So high unemployment rate right now. People need that bread.
Yeah.
I know, but they can't keep draining the economy, though.
Yeah, because y'all are buying fireworks and stuff with your stimulus checks.
They can't keep draining it. Like, at some point, it's gonna end. Like, it's gonna, like, we ain't got nothing. Like,
this is a tough one.
It is a tough one. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, because I'm pretty sure whatever I'm gonna say, I'm pretty sure there is a law for it. It's just that, do people follow the law?
Hey, shoot your shot. You never know.
Nah, I can't think of one. Because a lot of stuff, like with the police brutality and stuff like that, there's a lot of things that they got in motion to kind of, saying, far as, police coming to certain type of calls and stuff like that. So
I got one.
What?
Reparations for all black people. It's time for them to pay up, man. We put in enough work through slavery. I don't care if none of the slaves is alive anymore. We need our just due, man. We need our reparations. Everybody else got a little bit. So, I mean, come on. Give us something.
Kick in.
It's time. Some land or something.
Anything they willing to give us, I'm ready to receive it.
They give you a discount. They give you a discount on neck bones, nigga, for the rest of your life. Like, get all the cornbread you want.
Oh my gosh, man! Yeah, we need that money, man.
Yeah,
for real. Give us some land, some property. Give us some equal footing, for once, some financial footing in this world, man. Black people, we ain't been set back so far. It ain't even funny
to close that financial.
Y'all want to get mad at us? We ain't even had a fair shake in the beginning.
It's hard. It's hard for black people, man. Just the living in the whole living in poverty. Going through what we have to go through. Just on a daily basis of being a black man. That it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I think we do need our just due.
I feel it. So this is another curveball, but of course that's what we do here. I was talking to a good friend of mine. I'm not going to put his name out there. I'm not even going to tell you what his association is, but I believe he is a feminist. I don't know what type of feminist he leans more towards, but as definition goes, it's a person who supports equal rights for women and all of that jazz. I myself believe that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities, whether it's employment, whether it's whatever the case may be. Do you guys, for one, feel that you're feminist based off of that definition? And two, this next question is going to be very tough. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and understanding what we're about to get into. So do y'all agree to the second half of this question?
Yeah.
Without me even telling y'all what the question is going to be.
Go for it.
So, do you guys think that men at all should have any opinion or no opinion if a girl or a woman decides to get an abortion?
Well, I don't believe in titles, so I do believe in women being able to have a fair shake as far as job opportunities, pay, all that type of stuff. I believe in that. It's 2020. Like, come on now. To be honest with you, I'm a firm believer in it is the woman's body is up to her. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because like I say, that's something that's traumatizing. That affects their body. there's some women that have actually been through that and weren't able to have kids no more. So I think that's solely up to her. If you're the father and you are active, you want to be active in a child's life, I do believe that you should be able to talk to that woman and explain to her your point of view. But at the end of the day, it's her body. She's gonna do what she's gonna do.
So I can't wait to hear your answer as well. But I want to double back with you real quick.
Yeah.
In your own place of employment in history, not where you're currently at, just historically, do you feel like women have gotten a fair shake in your profession?
Of course not, because like you say, it's, especially in that industry, sometimes it is kind of looked at as like, okay, this is man's work. But I have seen it with my own eyes that there have been women not only became great at what they do, but they're better than some of the men that work in that same position. So there's some women out there that do what they got to do. I'm not, hell, there's some men that do what they got to do. Not all men work. There's some men out there that don't do a damn thing. So I think that in 2020 we're starting to see everything come as a whole. Like, I'm like, especially with the Black Lives Movement and stuff like that, and you seeing white people right next to black people fighting for the same thing. You seeing women fighting for their rights, and there's, like you say, men there fighting with them. So it's come to an whole. So I think that 2020 everything's different. So
that's a fact. Wordplay. Are you a feminist?
Are you talking about as far as the abortion and all that?
No, I mean, do you think women deserve equal rights as men?
Yeah, I believe so.
And do you think that historically, in your opinion, that they've gotten a fair shake?
Nowadays, I feel like women is they're speaking out and doing their thing too. So yeah, I feel like that.
Okay, so with the abortion topic, how do you feel about that? Do you think a man should have any, say so?
I don't think the man should have, because at the end of the day, that's the woman's body. That's that leads down depression when you have abortions and all of that. So at the end of the day, that's the woman. And then you got to think the man is going, if he don't want the kid, of course he gonna want her to have an abortion. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Instead of manning up, taking care of your responsibility, you lay down with her. You gotta just man up and take care of your seed. You know what I'm saying? But most men, of course, they're gonna not want it if and then that's not that's something the woman should have a say so on. You know what I mean? Like, that's her body. That's what she has to deal with. So, yeah.
In the wise words of Tupac, since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one.
Yeah. R.I.P. Pac.
So,
I mean, I'm all for men, doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? But, at the same time, you got to look at reality. That's something, of females, that's a female thing, to where you have the baby, and of course, yeah, that's your kid. It should be talked about, and if y'all can come to a common ground on it, then yeah, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But it, at the end of the day, that's the woman's body, so she should have that say so on that.
Indeed it is. And we are seeing a lot of progress with women being hired in the NFL and the NBA, which is amazing things. We need to see more representation of women, especially women of color in these fields and director positions, CEO positions. They're so smart, so skilled. Just as men are, we it's just bodies and genders. That's all it is. Realistically, women deserve the same fair shake that we do. So I'm glad that you guys are all on the same board with that as well. I have no more for you guys. You guys got me.
Oh, okay.
You guys finished. Great job.
So, this was an interesting podcast. We talked about fear. We talked about respect. We talked about feminists. We talked about a lot of things. You got a nice little gumbo bucket list. Mm-hmm. Nice little gumbo stuff we talked about. So, of course, this is the end of the podcast, and thank you guys for watching. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Anybody got anything they want to say that will potentially be...
Just check out the album, man. I'm just saying, 2020 Vision coming out August 1st. That's Wordplay and Still Will. I'm Wordplay. That's Still Will.
No, it's not.
Was Alter Ego.
Oh,
but check it out, man. It's talking about things that's going on in 2020. You know, it's giving me a transition. It's more of a transition of me, you know, and how my life became from what it was to what it is now, you know. And you got a mixture of everything in there. It's just like gumbo, like LP said. You know, you know, it's a little bit of everything. But I definitely think that people will like it. You know, you might not even skip a song on there, man. It's that banging. So check it out. It's gonna be all over iTunes, Spotify, you know, all etc. You know what I'm saying? So check it out. You appreciate it.
Support. Just two quick announcements. Ashley Furniture is hiring a Rialto if anybody needs a job. No, I'm trying to help people if people need a job. And then Wendy's on Highland and Sterling is hiring. They just built it. They are looking for employees. So I know this is a tough time for a lot of people that are trying to find work. If you're in the San Bernardino area, please check both of those locations out if you're trying to get a job. And no, I don't work for either one of those places. I'm just trying to look out for y'all. So that's it.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your boy LP82 along with my co-host
Young Tig, a.k.a. Wordplay.
And, of course,
Cousin Dwaine, baby.
Thank you guys.